Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town. And there's an awful lot of people here I don't know. So I'm going to make the rounds after we're all done and say hello and thank you personally for everything that you do for us. We're here today to thank all of you. Carol's my chief of staff up here. She actually had the idea that we should do something for all the food pantry volunteers. I said, why don't we feed them? It makes sense. It makes sense. We're known for Senior Olympics. We're known for the fireworks. We're known for the concerts and the St. James Street Fair and so many things we're known for that are fun social events. I think we're also known as a town that really takes care of people with food insecurity. I mean, we have 11 different food pantries, thanks to all of you. 11 different, we're a big town, but 11 different food pantries. We have so many cool programs. Way back in 1999, when we started the concert series, Carol was on the council then, I was the town CFO, and we worked on a whole bunch of things together. So we worked on the concerts, and then we were talking to Paul Sansone, and he had a great idea from the very beginning in 1999 to donate a TV every concert on Monday nights. And then if you brought a box or a can of food, you get a ticket, a raffle ticket, and somebody wins the TV. We've been doing it, it's now 2024, it's the 25th year we've been doing these concerts. We typically get what, 60,000 pounds? That's 25 years of concerts. And now there's not just one on Monday night. Now there's Monday through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and even Saturday mornings for the kids. And our whole flyer says, bring a box or can of non-perishable foods. And every place we have the concerts has a permanent bucket or something to get the food, what do you call them?
Rubbermaid containers.
Rubbermaid containers, whatever. So the concert programs have probably, 25 years, a million pounds of food. I'm no accountant. Yes, I am. So that we've got, and I'm going to leave some things for Peter to talk about, but the Have a Heart food drive. Every year, February 14th, people donate either 214 pounds of food or $214, and we use that to buy the cheeses and the milks and the breads from Hillside. That's been going on since 1992. 30 plus years of Have a Heart. Think about how many pounds of food we've collected in all those events. Unbelievable. We got teachers that are unbelievable. There's Kelly Amiano in School 19 who personally fills up these food. They're like little libraries, except without library books, they have food. And you can go to some of these places, particularly in the less privileged sections of town, and she just stocks it with food every day. Right, there's a couple in some of our schools, and the kids come in and they grab what they need. It's just with the people in this town that are dedicated to this cause of food insecurity it's just amazing. And it's also amazing because our assemblyman, who's been an assemblyman now for, I think he's in his 13th or 14th year, and he's been the assembly speaker now for this is his 7th year. Craig Coughlin is the king of food insecurity issues in the state of New Jersey. He could be an advocate for anything. And there's no lobby of people that donate to his campaign because he advocates for food insecurity, because the people that benefit don't have the money to donate. Let's face it, Trenton, Washington, people do things because of politics, because of where they get money from, and some people advocate for insurance companies and some advocate for big oil companies. Craig advocates for people with food insecurity. I think he's an amazing legislator. He has made this issue his number one issue since he's been in Trenton. And now that he's the speaker, he has even more sway to make sure things happen. And I can't even remember all the bills Craig has passed. Some of you will probably say some things about that because you're more in touch with than I am. But Craig Coughlin has been an amazing advocate for the same people that you're an advocate for, the people who otherwise would go to bed hungry without people like you and without people like Craig. So please, he's probably going to watch this on TV. Please give Craig Coughlin a gigantic round of applause. We have a whole bunch of pantries here. When I read your name, just yell out. St. James Food Pantry. You can do better than that. St. Cecilia's. St. Anthony's, Port Reading. We're in Port Reading. Where are they? First Presbyterian Woodbridge. First Presbyterian Avenel. First Presbyterian Island. Two of you. Heaven's Helper. Fellowship Bible. Evangel Church. I don't see Reverend Trinity Episcopal. Thank you, one of you. And Trinity, Food Pantry and Trinity Soup Kitchen. So, all right. Give yourselves another round of applause. We have, what? Go ahead.
I just want to, the mayor talked about the tons and tons and tons of food that we get and we bring to your pantry. But you're the ones that have to pick up every single can and box of cereal, put them up on the shelf, and they orderly, they look good, and then when the people come in, you help them and make them feel good and comfortable about getting this food. It is such a beautiful thing that each and every one of you is doing. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
I was going to say that, I'd now like to introduce the guy in town responsible. Whenever we go to the schools and with the kids on their Have a Heart food drives, I always say Peter Barcelona is the guy that gets the food from the people who donate it to the people who need it. He's the one that coordinates it with all of you, but he's in charge of the food drive effort. He's in charge of We Feed Woodbridge. He is an amazing public servant. He works for us in the health department. Some days I wonder if he ever does any real work for us because he's spending so much time doing food drive things and We Feed Woodbridge things. And we especially spend a whole lot of time together in February when we go school to school and talk to the kids and ask them, why is it important you're doing this? It's just such a warm feeling. But this is the conscience of the food drive effort in Woodbridge Township. Mr. Peter Barcelona, I'd like to have him say a few words.
Thanks, Mayor. But without the mayor and the administration and allowing me to do what I do and to allow us all to use township resources, township employees, township vehicles. We have a new van outside that was donated from Forrester Financial. Without the mayor's support and the council support and the administration support, We Feed wouldn't be what it is. We started We Feed in 1992. Jake, you might have been part of that, I'm not sure. 94. So 1992, I think, unfortunately, I'm the only one left. That when we started it back in the day, and we were like 5 small pantries, and we decided to collaborate. We should work together. At the time, I was working for St. James Food Pantry, and that's how we started. That's Mayor McGreevy at the time said, let's create a network. So that's what we did, and we thought it was going to be something simple, and it's grown into what it is today. But without you all here, you all are the backbones, the frontline workers of the food. What I do is just a frontal of what you are doing every day in the food pantry. You are the frontline workers. You're the ones every day on the ground seeing what's there. And as most of us know, food insecurity is increasing throughout the state. And we have Mark here and people from the state that will speak briefly about programs that are going on. We have the speaker in Trenton. I meet with Mark several times a year in Trenton to lobby for certain bills that would help those that are food insecure. So We Feed has grown into this whole network of food pantries, but you all are the front lines. You all are the worker bees that are actually making We Feed what it is today. And as the mayor says, with the food drives, the concert series will start. I think you all got my email yesterday about the concert series starting in next week. And I hopefully in the next, Mayor, you probably don't even know, but in the next several months, St. James Food Pantry will be turned into a pantry of choice. So where the people will have the opportunity to come into the pantry. Mark met with us several months ago, and so we're in the process now of turning St. James Food Pantry into a food pantry of choice where the clients will have the ability to come into the pantry and choose the items that they want, so greater increase in their dignity. As we know, there's a stigma attached to food pantries that people think people that come to the food pantry are homeless or they're contrary to that, probably 98% of the people that are coming to the food pantries are working poor people, people that are in situations that we all know you see every day. So the key is, Mike, before I retire, my goal is to break that stigma and say, look, food pantries are your neighbors that are just having a hard time economically, medically, whatever that is. To break that and say, look, food pantry people are just any other average neighbor of yours. So it's very important that, that we treat them with respect and dignity when they come and we serve them. So hopefully by September, October, we'll have Craig here and we'll cut the ribbon for St. James Food Pantry Choice. So that's all I have to say. But again, on behalf of the mayor and the council and the state, thank you for your work.
I also should mention the Halpern Companies, Atlantic Realty. They donated a very large amount of money. They prohibited me from saying what it was. But we used that to buy freezers and refrigerators, and we reached an agreement to rent space from the Woodbridge Knights of Columbus. So now we have a permanent spot. There was always times Peter would say, hey, they would deliver a whole truckload of food if you had a place to keep it cold and keep it frozen. Well, now we do, and that has worked out amazingly. So the Halpern family and Atlantic Realty has been terrific. I definitely want to mention them. And our first speaker is going to be Mark Dingleson, the Executive Director of New Jersey Office of the Food Security Advocate. So the whole idea is for these people to meet you. You're the frontline workers. They're the ones advocating for your causes in Trenton and working for the state. So we thought it would be a great idea to get everybody together. So let me ask Mark to say a few words now. Good luck.
Good afternoon. So before I start whenever I'm with Frontline Heroes. I start every speaking engagement like this. For you all that are on the front lines, serving those that need you, the families that need you, our neighbors, I want to applaud you, and I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause. You can do better than that. Come on. I learned about servant leadership from my father, who used to take me to the slums in the Philippines and ask me to work with him on all the entrepreneurship programs, the medical programs that we were doing. And he used to tell me all the time, Mark, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. Do everything for the greater glory of God. Serve with purpose and with passion for that. And, you know, I will tell you all, so I've been, I'm a nonprofit professional by trade, right? And so I've been doing this for 21, 22 years. And I am convinced every day there is nothing stronger in this work than the heart of a volunteer. And you need to remember that you're heroes. We were saying that so much in 2020 when the world was a dumpster fire during the pandemic, and then we stopped saying it less and less. But never stop calling yourselves heroes. Never stop understanding that you are needed and that we at the state rely on you, that Pete needs you. Remember that. And remember that the people that are coming to you would love to see you that way each and every day. And who is this guy that's reminding you that you're heroes? I'm the food security advocate for the state of New Jersey. They've mentioned that Speaker Coughlin is one of the most powerful advocates for food security in New Jersey. I actually say he's one of the most powerful advocates for food security in the country. New Jersey leads the way in food security work. Our work is included in the White House strategy to end hunger and build healthier communities. And it's a lot because of the speaker's advocacy. He created us. This is Dr. Dan from my team and Dr. Jenny from my team. In 2021, Speaker Coughlin passed legislation to create the Office of the Food Security Advocate. This is the only office in the country whose sole job is to advocate for food security that is placed in the office of a governor. I report to nobody else other than the governor. And what that means is I get to advocate for what you guys are doing and what Pete tells me you guys are doing, what you guys are seeing. And I get to do that at the highest levels of state government. And I get to say that we need to be celebrating you, that we need to be talking about you, that we need to be talking about the families that are coming to you for help. And the other thing I'll say is that this is a story of us. Food security work in New Jersey, as Pete said, it's not a story of us versus them, right? The people who need your help, they've got degrees. There are nurses, our bus drivers, our teachers. That's who's coming to food pantries in New Jersey now. And food insecurity has gone up from 8.8 to 10.2%, right? Did I get it right? So you're going to be even more necessary and needed because the need is growing. So the speaker and the mayor and Pete and Dr. Dan and Dr. Jenny, we need you, right? And so we're going to keep advocating for you at this office. That's what the main job of this office is. And it's through this, Dr. Jenny and Jennifer will come up here and talk about specifically a project that we're doing in this area where you all are needed. But I'm also so excited for the choice pantry work. Pete, man, I'll roll up my sleeves and move shelves. I miss doing that I was running a pantry in Patterson before I took this job. I just got a random call saying, hey, do you want to run the office, right? And I took the job because I knew I couldn't live with myself if I didn't, because it's an opportunity to talk about you guys every chance I get in Trenton. And it's an opportunity to come and be with you guys every chance I get, because that's necessary and that's needed, and that's what this office is built to do. So it's a real pleasure to be here. I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for everything that you do. Can't wait to eat with you guys.
Well, if you ever give up your career in nonprofit, you have a future in motivational speaking.
Thank you.
I'd like to now bring up from the New Jersey Office of Food Security, the advocate Jenny Schrum, to say a few words.
I think I'm the shortest one probably on the table. Can you all hear me okay? I'm usually pretty loud. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Jenny Schrum. I'm your neighbor over in New Brunswick, and I'm the Research and Evaluation Manager at the Office of the Food Security Advocate. Great to see some familiar faces. I know I've met some of you previously. So as Mark spoke about, one of the main priorities of our office is to really listen to community, to learn from you all, and then share that, right, with decision makers, policymakers. And another one of our priorities is to really be a resource hub for you all to help navigate the breadth of work you're trying to achieve, right? So if anyone's interested, we're happy to share our brand new website with you today. And I can write down the address for you. You can search it. You can find us on LinkedIn. But we've really developed a list of resources that help communicate better this huge need that we're starting to see across the country and New Jersey. So make the numbers really easily accessible to you so that you're able to communicate that need better. And really start to compile resources when it comes to not only data resources, but how can you learn from others that are doing this work in this state and also nationally? So we have a list of podcasts that are really digestible, a list of newsletters that are really helpful, to start giving you some resources to better understand the issue. And also, while it's really important to understand that those numbers are going up, right, that the need is really high, that there's a lot of diversity in that need, we also really need to celebrate all the strengths that are happening in New Jersey. So as Mark alluded to before, we are constantly meeting with people nationally, thought leaders in this space that are so excited to learn from New Jersey. So we really want to make sure that we're documenting a lot of the great work that you're doing and help people understand what it takes to have these really great models in place, right? So one of our projects we're working on this year in research, and Jennifer from Replenish is going to speak to it more, is we partnered with Katie Martin, who wrote Reinventing Food Banks and Food Pantries. If anyone's read that book, we're also happy to share that as a resource. That talks about food security work, the history of it in the United States, where we're at today as a country, and how we can think about reinventing how to address the issues, right? A lot of the numbers have been stagnant over time, and now we're getting worse. So we really got to think innovatively about how to address that issue. So what we're doing with Katie Martin is starting to implement an assessment across the state with people who are interested in participating to not just measure need, but to measure capacity, right? What's the great work that you all are doing? And there's no wrong answers to doing that work, right? Some people have strengths in this area. Some people have strengths in this area. It's dependent on the communities you work with. It's just dependent on the needs that you face. And the better we can document and understand where those strengths are, the better we can inform how we're allocating allocating resources and advocating for more resources, right? There's strengths in numbers in many ways. So if we're all trying to, or many of us are trying to move towards a choice model, that takes a lot of inputs to be able to do that. So we want to be able to advocate for monetary resources, volunteer staffing resources, what types of foods are necessary in order to have a choice model. Different communities have different cultural needs, dietary needs, medical needs. So there's a huge spectrum. So in an effort to start unpacking that, we're really excited to work with Katie, who's a thought leader nationally. She works very closely with Feeding America, with a lot of health institutes, on how we're tracking this in a very strengths-based way. And the purpose of that really is to celebrate all the great work that you are already doing, and help give you a better platform in order to communicate that. Because I know we all know that you're incredibly busy already, so we really would like to be a resource for you in that way. So thank you for having me. I look forward to talking more about all the great research and data resources that we have and where we hope to move in the next year or so. It's already been a year of making a big splash, so I'm excited to continue doing that with you all. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And next up, our last speaker is Jennifer Apostle from the Middlesex County Replenish Program. Jennifer?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all that you do to serve your community. Thank you, Mayor, for your leadership, and Peter. You guys are an incredible testament to what food security work should look like and how a township should support our food pantries. You're a real model for the other towns in Middlesex County, and I allude to that every chance that I get. So thank you for what you guys do. Thank you to Mark and Dan and Jenny and your team for what you're doing at the state level. Incredibly grateful for your leadership and insights and what you're doing, reaching out to the community. And I'm happy to be partnering with you in many ways. So thank you for all of that. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Replenish. Many of you may remember us as McFoods. We were rebranded a couple of years ago as Replenish. And I know that you guys here in Woodbridge have a very tight-knit network, and thanks to the mayor and the resources that the town provides for all of you, you have your own refrigeration, your own space. You're very, very self-sufficient, and you guys don't need to lean on Replenish for resources, which is incredible. But I do just want to remind you that we are here as a resource for you should you need us, whether that be for food, shelf-stable produce, meat, dairy. We occasionally have the hygiene items. So, should you find yourself needing to supplement your supplies, you're always welcome to reach out to us, to come visit us. We are open Tuesday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. We welcome you to come visit us. But in addition to the food that we offer our partners, we do have a wealth of information and resources that we provide on a daily basis. Right now, since the pandemic, we have been sending daily emails to our partners that just include tons of information about anything that you might need to support your pantry or that your clients, your neighbors might need to improve their situations. We have health fairs, health clinics, job trainings, job openings, family events, community events, anything that might be happening in the community that might be relevant. So I do encourage you to check out our daily emails once in a while and see what's happening there. We are looking to take these daily emails and turn them into a different type of platform where you can just go and check out what's there without having to receive an email every day. So I'm working with the county IT on that. But we also, Peter mentioned about removing stigma, and that is something that's important to us. We work with the County Arts Institute and the Share Your Food Waste program on cooking demonstrations. We just had one on Monday at the Replenish Warehouse. Everyone is invited to attend. We invited all of our partners. You're welcome to attend and then to see what that demonstration is like, and then you're invited to connect with that team, and you can have a cooking demonstration at your facility. The county team will come out to your pantry and provide a cooking demonstration for your neighbors. These chefs take items that are typically found at our food pantries and turn them, into show how to make them into healthy, nutritious meals on a budget, how to make them more culturally appropriate, Some of the items that we receive in our food pantries may be unfamiliar to a lot of our neighbors. So, we're trying to educate them how to use these items and how to make them more culturally familiar. We also worked with the County Office of Solid Waste Management on a food date label, food waste management education campaign. As part of that was a food date label. So best by, use by, sell by, they're not expiration dates. Those are manufacturer guidelines for freshness. So we have posters, we have flyers. I brought a bunch with me today. If you'd like to see them, take a bunch back for your pantry. You're welcome to have them. I have electronic copies I can share with you. But again, it goes to removing the stigma and educating the community at large, not just our pantry clients, on that date labeling information. We also have our Healthy Food Access Map, which maps the food pantries, farmers markets, grocery retailers throughout all of Middlesex County. And it's a tool that we are promoting out broadly through Middlesex County with police stations, with hospitals, with social workers, case managers. So when they engage with people who have other needs but are likely at risk for food insecurity, they can use the tool to direct them to the local food pantries in their community for assistance with food. So that's where I need your help. I know that you guys don't utilize us a lot for food, and you maybe don't read our emails, and maybe you aren't familiar with the fact that in January we did a re-registration of all of our partners. But the importance of that is we wanted to capture everyone's operating days and hours of distribution, and we need to have that information to our directory and map are current, and that your resources are made available to the residents of the county. So if you haven't filled out that registration, I'm going to email you again and pester you and encourage you to please do that so we can make sure that we do have your up-to-date operating information. And then, as Jenny alluded to, we are working with the state on the More Than Food Capacity assessment. And in addition to that, we're also working with the Trenton Health Team and Mercer and Somerset County on a food security index project. So we are using census data guided by different variables to map food security at street levels so that we can cross that map, the index of the greatest areas of need, as opposed to where are those resources. We're using our healthy food map. We can see where our resources are located, where the highest areas of need are, and then taking that capacity assessment to see who is offering choice, who is offering connection to community resources, how else are you helping the neighbors that you're serving. We can see where there's strengths, where there's weaknesses, and where there's room for growth. So we're having all this information towards the end of the year. We're looking forward to putting together a great report and getting back to everybody. And at a county level, how can we support you? What can we do to help you continue to grow and improve the level of service that we're providing our residents? You're already doing such a great job, and we just want to work with you, stand with you, and help support you in any way that we can. So my two asks of you are to, if you didn't complete our registration, please do that. And also, please complete the capacity assessment. What we'd like for you to do is, print out a paper copy of it, sit down with your staff and volunteers and read through it together and determine how you want to answer those questions. And then you can complete it electronically, or you can complete a paper copy. We got funding from the New Jersey Food Access Fund to hire an intern. So Jennifer Hinton, sitting over here, Jen, raise your hand and wave at everybody, is working with us this summer to help roll out this assessment, to meet with the pantries, answer any questions, help you complete the assessment. We also received funding for incentives. So every pantry that completes an assessment will receive a $50 grocery store gift card, and will be entered into a raffle for 3 big ticket items. One is a large showcase refrigerator, little grocery shopping carts to, again, encourage that choice model, and a food scale. So the $50 gift card is guaranteed, and a raffle to be entered into winning one of those great prizes. So we ask that the assessment be completed by June 27th, and the raffle will be held on July 17th at Replenish. You don't need to be in attendance to win. But again, I just encourage you to please help us out and work with us to complete the registration and the assessment so that we can collaborate with you and help support the great work you're doing here in Woodbridge. Thank you.
And I'd like to ask Crystal from Craig Coughlin's office, Assemblyman Coughlin, to talk about the Bowl for Hunger event and anything else you want to talk about with Craig. But last year, he does this every year. Last year, they were collected over $100,000 just in one night of bowling, from 5 to 8 and from 8 to 11, something like that. People all over the place. Everybody had a great time. Bowling's fun. I can't do it very well, but it's fun to be there. And that's just amazing when you think about that. We had the luncheon here to give out the checks. It was just so cool to see all the people come to pick up the money from Craig's event. Chris, you want to say a few words?
Thank you guys for having me. I'm the president of Bowl for Hunger, as he mentioned. We are a nonprofit that we host a bowling event every year that we fundraise money from different sponsors. And some of you guys might be familiar with us, but if you're not, we've been active for about 15 years at this point. Peter Barcelona is one of our founding members. And we started because, as you can tell, Speaker Coughlin's very passionate about food security. 15 years ago, he saw, I think it was Perth Amboy food pantry, people wrapped around it, and it was a brand new food pantry, and he was like, there's a need for this. We're going to make something work out. So over the course of 15 years, we've raised over $300,000, and we're having another event this year. It will be on July 15th from 5 to 10:30. We'll have 2 bowling sessions. If you're interested in checking it out, we'd love to have you come see what we do. If you have any questions for me, I'll be here, and I'd love to talk with you. Thank you.
All right. It's time to eat, but first we're going to ask somebody from each pantry to come up for a proclamation. We want to take a group picture of everybody, one person from each pantry. So as I call you up, please somebody come on up. First Presbyterian Avenel. That's got to be Jake. First Presbyterian Woodbridge. St. Anthony's we know is not here unless anybody came in. Oh, yeah, right in the corner there. Let's put this one. Oh, thanks. St. Cecilia's. St. James. What's that? I'm Woodbridge. Oh, First Pres Woodbridge. Here we go. Yeah, I knew that. St. Cecilia's, St. Anthony, even though nobody's here. Trinity Episcopal Soup Kitchen. Wait, St. James is here.
St. James is here. They're there.
Yeah, come on up. Trinity Soup Kitchen. Trinity Food Pantry. You got it. Evangel, we know is not here. Which one are you?
Trinity Soup Kitchen?
Okay, that's you. Do you want to go over there for the picture? Yep. So we got Fellowship Bible. We have Heaven's Helpers. And First Pres Island.